We got the Yum Yum Queen, Livv Bierley, in the building.
Ooh, ooh.
Well, welcome to the show again.
I know. Thanks for having me back.
Hey, no, I'm glad you made some time to be able to come over here. I know Fight Camp is coming, and we were able to squeeze this in just in time.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, what you got going on? Like, how's life been?
Life has been a roller coaster, to say say the least. Since we last spoke, man, I quit my job. I walked away.
Yeah.
From a career that I'd been building for 8 years. A career that allowed me to buy a house, buy my car.
Look at you adulting.
Yeah, adulting, right? But I realized like it's now or never. If I don't chase my dreams, nobody else will chase them for me.
Yeah.
And I kind of had this realization, like, because it was scary to walk away from like a guaranteed paycheck that gave me a lot of comfortability and stability. But I realized, like, I have all these people, True North, a lot of my sponsors, Modern Movement,
all the supporters,
tons of sponsors that believe in me. And it's like, what kind of butthole would I be to not believe in myself enough to walk away from, stability and to go all in, to put so at the end of last year, I resigned. I took a few weeks, trained out in Colorado with Macy Barber, and then came back and then spent 3 or 4 weeks just training jiu-jitsu consistently, competed in worlds, and life was looking good. I felt very confident in that decision to walk away. Like, things were lining up.
Did you come in first place on something?
I did win Worlds.
Don't just step over that like that didn't happen.
So I am.
Talk about that.
Yeah. So Worlds was crazy. I had never competed since the last time I'd done anything in jiu-jitsu was as a white belt before I'd ever made my amateur MMA debut.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to get the experience of cutting weight and that competition feel. And then it's been so MMA that I really haven't had time to kind of like prep and just do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But quitting my job, I was like, all right, I can do this. And there was like 19 girls in my division.
So for that tournament?
So I did 5 or 6 matches within a 2-hour time frame. Like, jiu-jitsu is crazy, right? With MMA, a time means a time, right? They say you weigh in at 9 a.m., you get there, you weigh in at 9 a.m. They say the main card starts at 4:30 and you're the fifth fight, right?
Yeah, you better be ready.
With jiu-jitsu, I think my weigh-in time, I was supposed to weigh in at like 2 o'clock or something. So I get there early to check my weight, make sure I was all good. So I checked my weight and I was good. So I just went ahead and made it official. I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and weigh in. That way I can start eating and drinking, kind of warming up. I weigh in, and within like 3 minutes, they're like, all right, let's go.
It's time.
And I'm like, whoa, I'm 30 minutes ahead of schedule here. I haven't even used the bathroom. I haven't but they're like, no, we go, time means nothing. So,
you got to go all in.
You got to go in, and then you don't know who you're fighting. And then once you get off the mat, you have anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes until your next one. And you don't know who you're going on the end of the next one until they finish their match. And so there's just like all these unknown chaotic variables.
It sounds very chaotic.
It was a whirlwind, man. And so you win one, you can't really think about it or celebrate it because now it's on to the next. Right. So there's 5 or 6, boom, 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 back to back to back to back. And I think it was my semifinal one. So it was the one before the championship match. We are tied, 0-0, right? We both have like a penalty. I don't really know what the penalty was for.
Yeah, I was like, what's that?
I don't really, jiu-jitsu is different, man. Like, I barely understood the rules. There's a strategy to it. And my strategy going in was to get a takedown, score some points, pass guard, and just kind of pressure them until they give up something.
Yeah.
And if the submission's there, take it. But I knew that I was in for a long day. So I just kind of wanted to conserve energy and just gas them out underneath of me. I knew I was going to have good, heavy pressure. But again, competition jiu-jitsu is different than MMA jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like scoring points in a jiu-jitsu competition might not actually be advantageous in the cage. So it's kind of like we're learning a whole different version of jiu-jitsu. But we were tied like 0-0, but she had an advantage point. And so if nobody scores, then it goes to whoever has the advantage.
Yeah.
So I was kind of technically losing. And I remember I'd got a takedown, but I took her down and she was out of bounds, so they didn't count it. So then we're in this exchange. She is like, I'm on top of her, which would be great in an MMA situation. But if you're in somebody's guard in jiu-jitsu, you get no points. So I'm trying to get out of it. Finally, I get out and stand up. And she stands up too. And there was like 7 seconds left. So as soon as she stands up, you can just see this video of my eyes like You
light up.
stupid girl, I'm gonna beat you. Like, I cannot believe she just gave it to me. So as soon as she stood up, I shot a takedown, just slammed her to the ground, scored points, and ended up winning the next one too to get gold. But that was crazy, man. Like,
Yeah, because I'm watching from social media.
mhm.
So I'm all like, okay, I know she's in this tournament and she's doing her thing, but I was like, is she like not losing at all? Like she just, I mean, I know from my point of view, it looks like you're just like flying right through it. I'm pretty sure it was like hectic, crazy,
It was crazy.
being all over the place. And then I see that, you were the winner. And I was
Yeah.
like, what is going on? I was like, and it's not to doubt that, not to say that you're not the real deal.
Oh, my
Because
professor was like, "Wait, what? She won? What?"
yeah,
Because I don't really train jujitsu like that, you know.
yeah.
He was it was actually funny to me how surprised the professor was. Like, she won.
Because yeah, I mean, you're going into like a different world.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on. Like you said, so many variables, so many like different chaotic situations, and you can't necessarily prepare for it. You just go all in and you do what you can. Thinking fast, right?
Mhm.
And it reminded me of I went to a training session of yours.
Mhm.
You're sparring with like all these people, and I guess whoever had the upper hand had to continue to spar until like somebody else did,
Mhm.
and
King of
that
the
was
Hill.
yeah. And then is that what they call it?
Yeah, we usually call it King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. That might be the name of the pod. Who knows?
King of the Hill.
But
Queen of the Hill.
Queen of the Hill. We'll switch it to that.
Okay, Queen of the Hill.
But so you were doing this King of the Hill
Drill.
drill or whatever, and I'm watching, from the sideline, and nobody needs to know why I was there, by the way, because some secret behind the scenes. But I was watching, I was like, wait, there's dudes here, and there's like only one other girl besides her who's significantly smaller, and I'm like, now I'm really like zoned in. I'm like, let me see how like she stacks up against these people. Because these guys don't look like just guys off the street either. They're obviously there. They know what they're doing. But I see you, if I'm not mistaken, I think you took down every single person you had to face in there.
Mhm.
And it was like, what, in a matter, like, it was a minute each
A
person.
minute. Yep. Minute
And then
rounds.
with maybe like, what, 30 seconds in between at most?
I think it was like 10
Maybe 10
seconds. It was
seconds?
about, yeah.
And then I could see the exhaustion.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, dude, like, I would have passed out. I already know it. Like, just being completely gassed, feeling like your lungs are just going to explode. At least I would felt like that.
Mhm.
And then to see you just continuing, and I was like, yo, she does not play. And I was like, she's just a different type of breed. Like, this is, and then that's where I'm like, I speak highly, when it comes to you. Like when people, they see us in, I'll be at your events, or, we catch a little picture or something like that. And they're like, yo, we see we see her, but like, she really like that. And I'm like, oh, she a sweetheart. Like you hanging out with her, maybe having a drink, something to eat. I was like, oh, she's a sweetheart. She's chilling. But when it's fight time, like
flip switches.
she's like, yeah, it really is a switch.
It
And I'm like,
is.
and I, just to see like just the sparring in action, or a little bit of like the boxing sparring that I've seen you do before.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yo, she's just not regular. You know what I mean? And just to see all the, like, just in the time that we've known each other, well, maybe like give or take 2 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've seen so much of the journey, and it's always still like surprising and amazing. And it's like, it makes you like proud as a friend to like just to speak about, people like you. Like when somebody brings you up or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, and talk big talk. Because I know that you're gonna back it up
Right.
anyway. They're not gonna watch a fight and be like, she's not what you said.
Right. The expectation versus reality. thing.
Yeah, and not only that, but like just to be a likable person as well, because I think that plays a factor. Especially when you're talking about fan bases and things of that sort. And you definitely have a fan base. We've seen it, at our live events here, where I'm like, oh, she really be the only one with a line of people wanting to meet her, take pictures, after an event. Not to discredit other fighters, but maybe they're not there yet,
Mhm.
and but it goes to show that like people really support you. They want to see you win, and they champion you. And I'm like, dude, imagine just when she goes to the next level up. I'm like, it's gonna be insane.
It is. I mean, I feel super grateful and blessed, and like San Antonio has opened up its arms and embraced me, and I embraced it warmly too.
Yeah.
So that is encouraging. But yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously what you do in the cage is obviously the most important,
Yeah.
but then there's also that you've got to connect with the audience in some capacity. And that goes beyond just like your capabilities and like your technique and things like that, but it's your personality, it's, the way that you interact with them, the engagement. And I'm not perfect at this. It can be very challenging too. But on media, being able to like responding to people's comments, messaging people back, little things like that. Like I think because that's the big thing is like if people are going to take the time to watch you, follow you, show up, then I feel like I should be taking the time to acknowledge and engage with that. Yeah, and not. I don't mean to say it like a responsibility or chore or whatever. I genuinely enjoy getting to know people, and then afterwards, whenever people come up, like learning their name and taking a picture with them, or if I have, especially the little kids, they're my favorite. But it's super cool, because it's like at the end of the day, I have this opportunity to impact somebody, and there's power behind that, and it's like at first I got into this because I liked winning fights, and now it's like I've fallen in love with the opportunity to connect with people that maybe I never would have connected with before had it not been for the platform that I'm given. So
did you feel like you were maybe less social before this?
Yeah, oh absolutely. I mean, I've always been somebody that like I've never had an issue with like speaking in public or being the leader of the group, or like it just at the end of the day somebody's got to do it, and it's like all right, fine, I'll do it. But in terms of like being that social, no, I usually what is those? The introvert? I think that's a new personality type instead of introvert or extrovert.
Okay.
I was definitely selective with that. Like I could, be more outgoing. I think when I was a little bit younger, maybe not as much. I don't know if it was just like a confidence thing or if I hadn't really like determined who I was yet. So it's hard to be outgoing with that when I didn't know necessarily who I wanted to be just yet. And then there was a phase where, I was more social, but it was like with the encouragement of alcohol. And now it's like,
hey, that always helps.
It does. And so for a while I kind of use that as a crutch. But now I'm at a point where I could show up at an event and people will be like, you good? I'm like, I haven't even drank anything. I'm just having a good time. Like,
this is normal me.
This is me. Like you ain't seen nothing yet. Right.
Yeah.
So,
and it's funny because like, I feel like similar, like I can relate in a sense because I'll show up a place and, when you got good company, like, the fun in you comes out, before you've actually even started having fun.
Right.
And, I'm being silly and this and that. And some people will be like, damn, like, did you pregame before you got here? And I'm like, oh, I haven't had alcohol today. Yeah. I'm like, I haven't started yet, but we gonna get there and just wait.
Yeah.
But, I've always been like the casual, like, I like to match good energy and, and be around people with, with that good energy because, like, why else would I be there? You know what I mean? If it's not there. And not only that, but like it opens up the door for, conversations that actually are meaningful or maybe, can help you progress in what you got going on. I love learning new things from, individuals. That's why, like, I don't want everybody to be like-minded unless it's like the hustle or something.
Right.
Or like, just determination. Mm-hmm. If we got that in common, we're good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, that's something that I'm like, I feel like a lot of people don't have, and they don't have that drive. And now I feel like the circle we have, maybe circles you're a part of, even the circles I'm a part of, and the mutuals, like there's a lot of that similarity of the drive.
Overlap, for sure. Yeah.
And I think that's what makes me gravitate to that quite a bit. But we were talking earlier, and you spent a little time in Chicago, which I don't remember if we talked about that on the last pod.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But it's funny because I love talking about Chicago, but your time there was short lived.
Yep, like 2.5 years. I think January of 2020, and then I moved in April of 2022.
Yeah, and you got to live the Rona life over there.
I did. Gosh. Oh, a lot of my views on Chicago are probably skewed because of the pandemic, and I'm not, the pandemic affected everywhere, but I think there were certain.
You were there.
Yeah, I think there were certain big cities like LA, New York, Chicago that were probably, maybe more locked down than other places.
I feel like Chicago, New York, LA were probably the worst.
Yeah, they were.
Based on population too.
Like, so government restrictions were pretty bad, but then just people in general, it was just like, I don't know. Yeah, like people were it was weird. Like people just became like fearful and I don't know, like the energy was just totally off. And there was a lot of people that went through really bad situations and obviously not being able to work. And so violence and like theft and crime,
Oh,
like
yeah.
crime went up,
Looting.
tons of looting,
Yeah.
and then nothing was like done about it. And churches were shut down, but they kept the liquor stores and the THC places open,
Dang.
like the dispensaries open.
We needed them.
It was just like, it was a lot of things that were confusing. People lost their outlet of going to the gym or going to the church or, and I think about the kids, like a lot of people don't realize like
The effects.
some kids, their home life is so bad that school is an escape.
You
know what I'm
now you're
saying?
stuck at home.
And now they don't get that. Or maybe school's the only place that they get a warm, fresh meal.
Yeah.
And now they're not getting that, And so it's like
people don't point that out that much.
They don't think about it. And just even, and then you think about young kids, like that's when they're learning social interactions and like facial impressions. We had the masks on for so long. So you say something mean to somebody, you can see it on their face that it hurt them. You cover that up and it's
you
kind of,
don't see nothing now.
You don't see, and everything's behind a screen. So I think there's a lot of like impacts from COVID that we like really haven't fully experienced yet. But I know for me, like that was part of what encouraged me to start training, because that was around the time that I started doing MMA, was towards the end of COVID, because things were just getting bad. And you lived in Chicago, so the only people that have guns in Chicago are criminals. They're criminals.
Yeah.
the steps that you have to take to legally obtain a gun, it's like about.
I think it's getting a little better, but it's still like if you've lived there all this time, the struggle of having a fire. And now, like I think they have that same thing that was passed that they did in LA, where now like police don't respond to everything they would typically respond to now.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh yeah, if you got people trespassing, we're not responding. File a report online. I'm like, yeah, but that's like an open door for like bad things to happen.
Yep.
And so I'm like, I don't think Texas would ever do that. We're just, and then we have too many guns in Texas.
That's the thing. Yeah. And I'm not saying that there aren't bad things that happen with guns. But it's all about the utilization. And I think like if I was a criminal, I would be way more likely to go do crime somewhere where I know very few people are going to have guns versus somewhere where every other person's packing,
Exactly.
It just makes you a city. And I'm not saying that bad things won't happen, but I just think it's less likely to happen or less likely to do as much damage because you're not going to get away from it for long. There's somebody in the near vicinity that's got something on them that can stop the situation.
There's less second guessing in an area where there's lesser than, right? So, and that's why I think that I'm like, people still try to get crazy in Texas too. But a lot of times it ends with somebody shooting back.
Yeah.
Or something to that effect. And, a lot of there's always going to be people who are like comfortable with that and those who are not.
Right.
Your anti-gun people and then the ones who are pro-gun. And I'm like, dude, I just think that if the right people are handling it.
Right.
And I was like, because, you want to rely on law enforcement. I was like, but they can only do so much.
Right.
What happens in the moments when you absolutely have to defend yourself?
Yeah.
I
feel like, I don't know, my biggest thing is it's like if you're really going to drive down that rabbit hole of guns kill people, then don't drive a car. Cars kill people.
Well, I don't agree with the guns kill people.
But there are people that they use that as an argument of like, we got to get rid of guns. But more people die every year from car accidents than from from intentional gun shootings, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like you could just really take that down a rabbit hole of, well, then don't drive a car. Don't you could just sit there and just keep.
Don't leave your house.
Yeah, don't leave your house.
Yeah, just don't leave.
Yeah.
But then again, fires do happen too. So
So don't have a house.
Yeah, don't have a house either. Don't have a house. Don't drive. Don't have a gun.
Don't have a gun.
And you know what? And now food is killing people.
Don't eat.
Don't eat.
There's probably stuff in the water. So,
There's always that point, in the year where something's going on in the ocean water, and now the seafood's all bacteria infested. Don't eat.
Don't eat.
Yeah. And it gets bad. Or like the veggies, when they have their issues every year, and it's like, don't eat vegetables then.
Well, think about how much because I grew up in like that Appalachia area in Kentucky. You had a lot of coal miners, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, think about all the stuff that we use that requires people to get into coal mines, and that's super dangerous too. So it's just like at a certain point, you've got to just kind of take it, like realize that.
That's a lot of railroad and Medicare
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's like at a certain point, we just got to take accountability, and people have to take accountability for their actions.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
because it's so easy to just blame an object. And I'm sure that that feels better, but no, it's like people. You know, there's evil out there. So
You know, but I know that people probably forgot we were even talking about Chicago or
yeah,
Word.
yeah, we were.
But I love Chicago so much. Like, you know, the culture there is, you know, is one of my favorites. You know, just to be able to go town to town. And, you know, it doesn't look like the way the landscape and structures are over there is nothing like how it is down here.
No.
In northern places, like it reminds me, there's places in Maryland that are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, to be able to go over there, like, and I'm a foodie, and I know you're a foodie.
Yeah, that deep dish.
Yeah, you know, the deep dish, the Euro wraps, like that's like regular food, you know, over there. And I think that you have to like really be able to appreciate and enjoy it, and to be there and maybe live there to have that appreciation for it.
For sure.
And you know, that's why I like when they start introducing like Chicago-based places down here.
Yeah.
Like we got Papuli's now.
And then Culver's.
I'm sorry, Portillo's.
Yeah, Portillo's.
Papuli's is a gyro spot. There. Disregard that.
Okay, Portillo's, and then Culver's is kind of now making its way down this way.
We're supposed to get our first Portillo's in San Antonio.
Yes, I saw that.
I think it's Seguin.
Okay, Seguin.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
I saw something where it was coming this direction.
I did try the one in Katy though.
Was it good?
It's exactly the same.
Exactly. Okay.
Oh man, and so my cousins, you actually met them before. They're from Chicago too.
Okay.
So the first thing because it's on the side of the highway, all nice, brand new building, and we're like, yo, is that Portillo's? And so we were all thinking back to like Chicago days.
Portillo's be popping, like,
oh yeah.
If you wanted to go there, and they do kind of like what Chick-fil-A does. They have that like multiple to like make things go through faster. But
yeah,
it's a process. I mean, you're sitting, especially if you're going around like dinner time, you're probably waiting 15 to 20 minutes to get your food. Like it's popping.
But it's
worth it.
They actually got some fast service for the amount of traffic they have.
For sure.
But like, you know, they got their Chicago style hot dogs, what they Italian beef and all that. The milkshakes that everybody loves.
Milkshake. Oh, the cake shakes.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's got some heavy calories, but hey, it's delicious. But we're like, let's order. So we're doubling up on everything. And you know, like I said, we're in Katy. We left you know what? It was the time that you're supposed to fight in Houston.
Oh,
and we were in Houston still.
Was it when I was supposed to fight Bellamere?
Yeah. Yeah. So we were coming back, and that's when we saw it. And so that was the same time frame. They had just opened.
Okay.
And so we went up in there and we're like, yo, let's double up on the Chicago hot dogs and the drinks and everything. And we're gonna taste test. And, you know, I wish we did a review. I don't know why we didn't do one.
Yeah, you should have.
We really should have. Anyway, but you know, we tried it and I was like, oh my God, this is just exactly the same as Chicago. Right. I'm texting my people in Chicago. I'm like, yo, we don't need y'all anymore.
Yeah, I ain't coming back.
I
ain't coming home.
But it's so funny because my family, when they come down here to San Antonio, they're like, dude, y'all's food is crazy. I'm like, I thought y'all had way more options than us. They're like, yeah, but we don't have certain things. Like, we don't got Mexican food like y'all. We don't have the barbecue that y'all have.
The barbecue. That's the brisket, the barbecue. Gosh, so good.
Is that some of your favorite
brisket.
food?
I love brisket. Man, like brisket is A1.
I got to put you onto some places I discovered.
Okay. Yeah, so I love brisket.
I'll try to get you a list because I've tried some, and brisket is one of my favorites. Like, my favorite piece, like cuts of meat ever.
Especially
if it's done right. It's got to be done right, though.
Yeah. Like, what is it, Terry Black's?
Oh, yeah, Black's.
They have great, I mean, brisket and pulled pork and just like, so good. Ribs.
There's Pinkertons here.
I've heard. I've not been there, but I've heard.
I want to try it though. I haven't been there yet. There's a couple other places here in the city. There's actually a place. I feel like it's a hidden gem. I think it's called the Purple Pig.
Like I've heard.
It's like in Seguin. So like deep northeast side out there, and it's like you got to go off the highway. You know. Obviously, you got GPSs. You got to find, you know, I'm not familiar with that area. And I found it because I was just looking for barbecue. I just had this urge, like this craving. And this place, the Purple Pig, pops up. And hey, shout out to Purple Pig, you know, sponsor us because y'all's food is amazing. But I went there and I'm like, okay, it's literally like a purple house, big Purple Pig statue in the front. And I'm like, this looks crazy, but I'm already like,
you're there. You're invested.
And I'm feeling it now because I like the marketing, you know, that they have.
They went all in on it.
Yeah, and I go inside, I'm not gonna lie. I go up to the guy and I'm like, well, you know, he's like, you gonna order or what? Like, and it kind of felt like semi-attitude, but it sounded intentional.
Yeah.
And then as soon like the way he was just talking to me, I'm like, I'm here for it. I was
Yeah.
like, I like this. I was
Yeah.
like, he's confident. He knows we're gonna love what we eat here. And they had this spicy this brisket. It's like with a spicy barbecue sauce that they do in house. And so I had this massive plate. I mean, this spicy, brisket. I'm like, this might be some of the best brisket I done had. And I'm like, and I don't know anyone who knows this place. Like to everybody else, it doesn't exist.
That's crazy. We might have to in 6 weeks once I beat the brakes off Shauna Gomez. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, let's do a little after party at Purple.
Purple Pig. Yeah,
the Purple Pig.
Hey, let me know. I'll holler at him.
Okay.
I'll be like, you know what? Bring some cameras. You know what? We'll even do an official review there.
There we go. We'll serve it up.
Just go ahead and get a whole bunch of plates laid out on the table, and we want to try your best. I think that'll be like a good time though.
That would be fun. Yeah.
The only thing I get nervous about is when I tell people about places. I'm like, what if it disappoints? Like it wasn't as good that day. Maybe
it disappoints them, but it doesn't disappoint you.
Yeah, or they caught him on a bad day.
Yeah,
that would like tear me apart.
That's true.
Yeah, but what is like cause everybody knows nickname is Yum Yum.
Yum Yum, eat them up.
You know what? And we might have to do it again because Cane's. Y'all ain't responded. We need that.
Yeah, Cane's. I've been loyal. I've been faithful.
You're still loyal?
So recently we went to Gus's Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
And they took care of me. We'll just say that.
They sure did.
And and granted, it's like two different business models, right? Cane's is kind of one of those where it's like you drive through, the simplicity. It's a chain, right?
Yeah.
And so as far as that goes, if I'm going to go through a chain place, I love me some Cane's. And I've never eaten Cane's and been like, meh, like I've always been like, that was lit. Yeah, best day of my life, But Gus
it's in the sauce.
It is, yeah. It's just like the combination of it all, the toast with the sauce and the chicken, you mix it all up. But no, Gus is like their fried chicken is on the bone, right? So it's like you can't compare the two, right?
It's always better off the bone.
It is. And we did a little video, but like I can't begin to explain. Like when you bite into that, the outside is like crispy and crunchy, but then the inside of that chicken is like moist and wet and delicious, and it is like perfect, man. Like it is so freaking good. And I just keep expecting like there to be a bite that disappoints or is like less than, and it's like every piece of chicken.
Honey too.
And then they've got the like fried okra, and they've got the mac and cheese, and
that mac and cheese was fire.
That was fire. That was fire.
That was
and
probably
they have, the fried green tomatoes, I think.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So
I've actually never had those until there.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, it's like it just got that southern like, oh, so good. So I do.
The way you describe it though, I was like, now I got to go back.
You do. I mean, it was amazing. Like, and that it was like my first big cheat meal after my fight, so it even hit the spot even more. But
shoot, it wasn't even 24 hours later.
Yeah, it was like the next day. Yeah,
like
literally
15
the next
hours
day.
later.
Yeah. Like I went to bed, woke up, and had some Gus's.
Lunchtime, yeah.
And the thing about them is it's like very like family based there. You go there like
that was my first time there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people had told me about it, and when y'all said let's go there, I was like, oh, you know what? That's definitely on my list. Like places I gotta try it. And I will say though, to me, I don't know if maybe just my hunger, what I was craving that day. I love the chicken, the honey, go ahead and pour that all over. But when I tried that mac and cheese, I don't know why it just hit the spot for me, but I was thinking about it for days.
There are people that like talk about their mac and cheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
It's the real deal.
I'm not normally a mac and cheese person.
Me neither.
But I really like their mac and cheese. Yeah.
And it's like that. It's not like that cheap kind.
No.
It was like that thick.
Like they're raising cows.
Yeah.
in the back somewhere.
There's multi layers of heavy cheese in this like mac, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
It is amazing.
I was so, like I said, I was really like the way you used to say you dreamed about Cane's. I felt like I was dreaming about their mac
and cheese. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Gus Chicken, man. What's their motto?
I just know it's Gus's Fried. It's like best chicken in the world.
Best chicken in the world. Yeah.
Best chicken in the world.
Man, you know what? We might have to like pull up one of these days.
We might have to.
I need it again.
I know.
Yeah. And you know what? They got.
I should have them cater like. We need to have them cater something
like an event one day.
Yeah. I'd be the type of person to have Gus's cater my wedding.
That'd be fire.
That would be fire. You ever been to a wedding that served fried chicken?
Yeah. Like once.
Once.
Oh no, it was more like an anniversary, like 25th anniversary.
No, I'm talking like wedding, like
Like
in
a
my
wedding
white dress, just like
just munching down. That's kind of crazy. But
I would do it though.
I would be there for it.
I would do it. I would
just
do
a whole
that.
bunch of okay. So what would it would be the chicken, and what would be if it came with 3 sides? What would your sides be?
I mean, we gotta get the mac and cheese.
The fried tomatoes.
The fried tomatoes
As an appetizer.
As an appetizer, there we go. They had some. Their green beans were pretty fire too. It had I think little bits of like meat in it. Their green beans was pretty good.
Do they have beans?
Maybe it was like brown beans or brown beans.
Yeah, I think they might have had some. I'm trying to remember.
I think it was or baked beans.
They got like bread too, like biscuits.
Yeah, they had what was it? No, they just do straight bread. They put the chicken on the bread. I think probably because the chicken is so freaking wet, it's gotta have something to absorb the grease. Yeah, it was bread.
I love bread with chicken though.
It's good. I mean, I don't know if I ate the bread or not because I was like, okay, that's more room for chicken. More room for mac, right? But yeah, it was all good. I mean, I guess my only regret is that I couldn't have eaten more. Like, I guess.
Hey, you can only do so much.
I mean,
so that was actually a time too, because I felt like so much was going on that day.
There was a lot going on.
You know, and this is what I love. Like, you know what? For people who may be watching this who are like content creators, or you just involved in that similar world. It's like the amount of activity that can get done in a short time span. There's no excuse, why you can't get certain things done. Because when I tell you, if you can be coming off of a fight, right? 12, 13 hours later, you're having lunch at this place. We bring cameras in. We're catching footage of things, little B-roll that you never know what you can use for. We're doing a food review video at the same time. You're interacting with people you know. And
well, there was like a little girls softball team or soccer team.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
Okay.
So the little, I think it was a softball team. I think they just finished the game, so they're coming into Gus's, fried chicken too. And I remember that you were like, you were speaking to a few people, trying to interact with everyone. And that's what, goes to show like you really are trying to like, be interactive with, with the people and engage with them. And so I see these girls and they were behind me at first. What were they? Maybe like 10-year-olds?
I mean,
something like that.
7 to 10, somewhere in that range. Somewhere in that range. And
I remember one of them. This is when your first round of cards came out.
Yeah.
And so there was some on there, and then they saw your belts, your fight belts, and I could see them eyeing it. And then I don't remember if one of them asked me like, "She a fighter?" I was like, "Oh yeah, she just fought last night." And then you could tell like it's like they were nervous, like they want to ask like, "Well, can I meet?" And then that's when I think I tapped you on the shoulder. I was like, "Hey, we might have to like move the conversation over here because we got some little young fans now. You've caught their attention without even speaking to them, and you still had the pink braids. Yeah,
I had the braids in.
So they were already captivated by that. Yeah, like they were like purple or pink, something like that.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, it looked like their faces were glowing up. And I was just like, they were like semi-starstruck.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, go ahead, man. You do your thing. And then, trying to catch a little footage. I think I asked the parents, like, is it okay? We're recording video here. Want to be respectful. And, they were just like, it's like you made their day.
Oh, and it made my day because it was just so cute, like meeting all of them. And I just remember when I was little and I played sports, like I didn't know girls fought in cages, and I think
it wasn't a thing.
No, it probably wasn't a thing. But like, so for me, it's super cool because, girls, I think or at least for me, it was always kind of in this, well, I'm supposed to act like this and dress like this and cross my legs and, wear dresses to church and put on makeup and all those things. And don't get me wrong, like I will wear dresses, I do have on makeup right now and sometimes I cross my legs, right? But
I know everything you just said you're doing right now.
Right. Like sometimes I do those things and it's okay to be both.
Yeah.
And I think that like that's one thing for me is like I feel like I have the ability to kind of show that women can be the duality of it, right? Yeah. We can be feminine and nurturing and kind and sweet and that like protector caretaker role, but if needed, we can step up to the plate and do business, and so
flip the switch.
Flip that switch. And so that part is cool because I do feel like sometimes you see people that are like all the way on one end or the other, and For me, I kind of struggled with that for a little bit because I was a tomboy growing up, like I loved sports and, like just doing outdoor stuff. And I was definitely more on that tomboy line of things. And I thought that you couldn't do both, if I wore a dress, then I'm not a tomboy anymore, whatever. So like seeing those little girls and like, them playing then their little cleats and, like the little paint on their face and stuff. It's super cute because like I want them to see that like they can do both. Like they
there's
can,
other options out there.
Yeah, right. So
it is funny that you said that like you can't be a tomboy anymore. It kind of it sounded like they were taking your tomboy card away. I was like, is that a thing? I don't think you could take it away, but it's funny though because I remember some of those girls like growing up. They want to do some of the stuff the boys are doing. And maybe back then we're just like, oh no, you're a girl, like type of thing, and some of those were like the coolest people, and not everybody would give them a shot, and now like, as we're adulting and seeing the possibilities and what women can do, it's just like, damn, what if like, we discourage like somebody, and I'll just say we, it might not have been me, but if we discouraged anybody back in the day, and there was maybe they wanted to pursue something and they were always told you're just a girl and you can't participate. And it's like, you never know where some of these people might go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and for you, like, I don't think people even know that like you started in MMA hella late.
Yeah. When I made my debut, I think it was in 2021. So it was a month before I turned 25.
Yeah, see, and that's crazy.
A month before I turned 25 when I made my amateur debut.
And what was it, like 3 years before you turned pro?
And then, so I made my debut in August of 2021, went pro in May of 2024. So little under 3 years.
Great things happen in August.
Yeah, great things do happen.
Opportunities happen in August. People like me are born in August.
Yeah, people like you are born. I think we're I'm going to fight again in San Antonio. Fingers crossed for the belt, for the title fight in August.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
Well, that means I got to be there. That's going to be, we might just do my little birthday celebration there. Who knows?
Get a limo or something, party bus to
a little table, VIP service or something like that.
Something.
Eddie, make something happen, man.
Yeah, True North.
Yeah, True North. Come on. Put it on the True North tab. No, but yeah, like, you know what? Let's talk about it because I don't want to forget. Let's talk about your upcoming fight. Like I said earlier, I don't know if it's disappointment. I mean, there is disappointment, but I do get a little bothered when somebody backs out of fighting you, and like if it happens once, okay, hey, things happen, whatever. But I felt like there was consistency for a minute. I was like, are they just afraid to fight this girl? Like, does she look that intimidating? I mean, I know if you see like her post, you're gonna be like, well,
yeah,
she looks dangerous.
Pretty jacked.
Yeah, yeah.
Jacked.
And like for your weight class, you're like tall.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
is that fair to say? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm tall, and especially for like usually if you have taller girls in the weight division, they're very lanky.
Yeah,
I'm like beefy too. I'm big and beefy. I'm tall. I'm beefy. I'm strong. Cut a lot of weight.
Definitely like what, a walk around like between 160, 170?
Yeah, well, 160. I usually like 165 is that cutoff.
Also right in the middle.
I mean, I've seen one a little higher on the scale, but it's like usually just a 1 or 2 day type of thing. But yeah, 160 to 165 is usually kind of like where I walk around at. So we're looking at a 30-pound weight cut whenever I fight.
Okay.
And I know originally so making my pro debut was crazy because I ended up doing a third title fight because there was a girl that was like, hey, I want a shot at the belt. I'm not ready to go pro yet. Like, I'll fight you as an amateur, but I'm not fighting you as a pro.
Yeah.
So like my fight with Madison Ginn was, and it made sense for her, right? She wasn't ready to go pro yet. And, but when you have the belt, it's easier to get fights because people want that title. But then when you go pro, like your record matters, and so originally like that was the November one was going to be like my pro debut in San Antonio. That didn't happen. So then we tried to pro debut in March of 2024. Didn't happen. Then April didn't happen. And then in May, Maya Stewart obviously said yes. We went up in weight to do a catch. But she said yes and she stuck to it and we made it happen. And it's funny because I was actually talking to Maya just a couple days ago about it because she's now in the position where she's struggling to find opponents too because she's on a 5-fight win streak.
Yeah.
And the last 4 have been finishes.
So that's probably going to discourage some opponents
from wanting
or
to fight.
potential opponents.
Yeah, yeah. And so I know I went through 11 different opponents and 5 different dates to make my pro debut. So it was very, and it just gets to the point where it's like like you're in this constant state of being in camp, new opponent switch, new date change, and then when you have family that fly in, it's just like the boy who cried wolf, I'm going to fight. Just kidding. They backed out. Oh, I'm going to fight. Just kidding.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where people that buy tickets from me are like, oh, well, is she going to back out this time? And I'm like, as if I have control over that, like I'm just as frustrated as you are. And, as crazy as this might sound, for me, it's like whenever people do back out, it feels like I'm mourning a death. Like it feels like something has died, And,
Oh, wow.
and especially when it's that close, because like I've just spent weeks and weeks and weeks losing weight, cutting weight, getting up early, doing extra cardio, putting my body to the limit, getting excited, overcoming all these things. And then something completely out of your control happens and you lose that fight. So there's like obviously those aspects of it too. But then on a career basis, like I've got places to be. Like, I'm trying to get to the UFC. And then from there, I'm trying to work my way to the belt, So it just feels like those detours or those delays, or it just almost feels like career death in a very small, in a capacity every time that
your
happens.
Career back.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah. And especially when it's like it's not a me thing.
Yeah.
So like my fight in February, she backed out like a week before. She wasn't injured.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And it was the best camp that I've had in my entire career. The healthiest camp, like everything, all the stars. I was coming off of winning worlds, had the best, healthiest camp. I was piecing people up. I broke a couple noses in my fight. But I was on point, ready to go. And I'd cut the weight and it was like time to just go into fight week. And then, she messages me and pulls out. And I pretty much begged. I was like, I'll come up and wait. I'll do whatever. She had some personal stuff going on in her life. And I respect her reaching out to me about it. But like, on a serious level, we all have personal things happening.
Yeah.
Like you have fought professionally 4, 5, 6 times already. I could not imagine like calling my boss and saying, hey, I can't come into work today because I'm in a fight or going through a breakup, or it's just like that concept to me just doesn't cross my mind.
Yeah.
Like I know people, and luckily this has never happened to me, but I know people that have lost like grandparents or parents and still fought.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather passed away as I was getting ready to do a basketball. Like I was in college and I was leaving to go, I don't remember what state, Pittsburgh or something, for a tournament. I didn't go to the funeral. I loved and adore my papaw, but he's gone.
Nothing you can do.
And now it's like he can watch me from heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, and not saying that if people cancel things to go be at a funeral, like do what serves you, but it's just hard for me to empathize with certain things when it's like, this is you're professional. This is like your career path. Like if you're not totally sold out about fighting, then why are you stepping into that cage? Like it's not like a hobby for casuals. It's not, there's real things that, and for people like me that are taking it serious, it infuriates me. I go through this like where it's like
your livelihood.
It is. Yeah. I quit my job for this. Like I put all my chips on the table. Like I'm in this.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. And sometimes it feels like worse, but like I'm in it. And when people don't match that same level of commitment, like it honestly, it offends me. It offends me, and I take it personal. And I know it had nothing to do with me, and nothing personal against this girl, but like. She hit me up about fighting again, and I didn't say nothing mean to her, but at the end of the day, she don't deserve another shot. Like, as much as I would love to go in and beat the crap out of her, like, I don't think she deserves to share the space with me anymore.
Yeah.
It's like,
because, like you said, like, you have family that can fly in, you have friends that buy tickets, fans that buy tickets, and a lot of people will buy tickets based on one person fighting on the card. And so you're talking about maybe hundreds of people.
I had sold that was the most tickets I'd sold. 3 tables. I think I had like 24 floor seats, like 36 GAs. I had sold all my tickets.
Yeah.
And then, a lot of my people that come to the fights aren't necessarily like rampant MMA fans. They're people that maybe wanted to come watch. And it's not like tickets are super cheap, So I did offer, like, because I knew enough and I didn't have to turn the tickets in just yet. So I made a post, and anyone that wanted their money back, because I get it. Like that might be groceries for the week or whatever it might be. So just, it was very heartbreaking. And then I didn't get paid. My nutritionist still needs to get paid. And my coaches still need to get paid.
And that's the part that, people don't think about. Like if you're looking to fight because, hey, there's people who are in your corners. There's
Mhm.
people, like you said, your nutritionist, all these
Mhm.
people who contribute to you being prepared for your fight. And
Yep.
then it's like, oh, by the way, I can't fight,
Right.
or we're not gonna
An
be able
injury,
to.
in my opinion, is probably the only reason. Or, I mean, I guess if something bad happened to your child, that I would understand, because I
Yeah.
feel like I think about when things happen to my dogs, but and I don't have kids, but other than maybe like your child, or if you're injured, like we all have stuff going on. There's never going to be a perfect. I
Yeah.
fought Madison Ginn 6 days after having a tooth extracted from my mouth and being on pain pills. And, so it's like, that wasn't ideal. I'm not saying that that was the smartest thing for me to do, but
But it
I
was game
signed a
time.
contract and I told her and I gave her my word I was going to be there. So it does suck to have to, like, obviously back out because of injury. And I've had one fight in my career that I've had to back out of because of injury, and that was Bellamere.
Yeah.
And for 3 weeks, I was training on what we know now was a torn glute med and glute max. And the pain I was putting up with, I was, getting massages and everything like that. But then once it started to be compromised to the point where my hip was buckling and I was falling walking,
It was unbearable.
my
Yeah.
coaches were like, "You're not doing this. Like, it's, if we don't stop you from this, you might be facing surgery." And so they made a good
risky,
call,
yeah.
because me and my craziness, I mean, I was so upset that they pulled me. But now that I can look back, it was the right thing to do. Like I was having trouble just walking and not falling when I was walking, and like I was not making it through any of my training sessions. And I ended every session in tears. So it's like that makes sense. And even then, like, my heart hurt to have to back out of that one.
But I know that if it was up to you, you probably still would have tried.
I would have tried. Yeah, if they would have let me, I would have tried. And that's why they have their job is, they have to protect me from me sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's like my heart is like I have this. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but I tend to feel like things will always work out. Right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so sometimes I get my heart completely broken when they don't.
Yeah.
But I still am going to think that the next thing's going to work out. And so that's why I
be positive about it.
You do. Now, the girl that I'm fighting, Shauna, it has been a series of unfortunate events for us to fight. So I'm fine. I'm glad to finally be able to break that curse, because I was scheduled to fight her as an amateur. And I don't know how much of this she knows, but I can't wait till after it's all said and done, be able to, like, clear the air and talk to her about it. It was going to be my first fight when I moved here to Texas.
Okay.
And so I was living in Dallas at the time, training at George's MMA and boxing. And we were scheduled to fight, I think, in September. So I used to work for LA Fitness. They relocated me. I did not have a choice to stay in Dallas, right? It was either go back home to Columbus, Ohio area, or move to San Antonio and Austin. And I ended up getting relocated in the middle of August. And I was supposed to fight her like September 10th or something.
Another August thing.
Another August thing, right? Another August thing. But as you can imagine, like 4 weeks prior to a fight, I'm moving states, don't have a gym. So I did have to back out of that one. But it was 3 or 4 weeks notice as an amateur. And it was because I was literally like losing where I was training, and I was moving. So that happened the first time. Then I finally get settled in San Antonio with Pete Spratt and RBBJJ.
Shout out to them.
Yep, shout out to them. And then XKO, I think it was XKO. We were going to do a fight in December, and I was like, well, Shauna agreed to fight me before. Maybe she'll agree to fight me again. We were both Texas, and so I was cutting weight, and I remember it was going to be my first fight in Texas. So there's kind of like every state has different rules. Long story short, there's this form that needs to be filled out 30 days prior to your fight if you're a first-time fighter in Texas.
Oh, okay.
I'm an amateur.
You don't know these things.
I'm not going to know that, right?
Yeah.
So he calls me, and I remember I was at LA Fitness on Babcock and Huebner. I was in my sauna suit, and I was on the treadmill running, which those of you who know me, like, I don't do that. That's not fun. Like, I'm doing that to fight, right? And so he asked me, like, oh, like, is this your first time fighting in Texas? I'm like, yeah. And he gets nervous. He's like, well, hold on one second. I'm going to send you this form, like, fill it out, like, right now. And so I'm standing there straddling the treadmill in my sauna suit, dripping and trying to fill out this form, like, with sweat. Like, I remember this day like it was yesterday. And then I let him know, and he calls me, okay, well, this form needed to have been filled out 30 days before. I know some guys, I'm going to try to pull some strings. So then I call my coach, and I'm like,
panicking.
I'm panicked because I'm like, do I need to be in the sauna suit running or no? Like, let me know. Cause like, it was right around Thanksgiving. So I'm not, I'm not eating and all those things. And
That's the
I
best
remember
time to eat.
Coach Spratt gets mad. He's like, he should not be calling you. Like, so he messages him and is like, don't call, like you handle this with me. She doesn't need to know about these things. Just let her train. And he still starts communicating with me. And then he's like, oh, we're not going to be able to do it. So then I remember just like being a diva and being all upset. And Coach Pete was mad. And then he's like, well, wow, I'm actually might be able to pull some strings. Let me get back to you. And anyway, it did end up working out. So then 2 or 3 weeks prior to the next fight with Shauna, that he scrapped it. But based off of what she posted, because she posted something saying like, made a post about how her fight wasn't going to happen, and it alluded that I backed out. So I'm assuming the promoter did not say, hey, I messed up and she can't fight you because she didn't, doesn't have her stuff in. I think he just tried to act like I was just not in it anymore to save his butt, And I didn't say anything back then and there. But then when Nicola backed out for February, we were trying to get a fight scheduled for March 15th. So Shauna signed the contract. Well, they emailed me the contract the same day that I tore my MCL. So I didn't even get a chance to sign it.
Oh, okay.
And so what I did, because this is now 3 times in a row that she's probably thinking I'm just wasting her time, right?
Yeah.
So I sent a
She don't
video
want to fight me.
Yeah, I sent a video message on Instagram, and I just basically said like, hey, I have this contract in my email. I tore my MCL, I am so sorry. Like, I understand if you want to fight this month and if it's not going to be me, but I do want to fight you. I'm not trying to waste your time. If you're willing to like wait until May, like I would gladly fight you in May. And, she was very professional about it. And, she, from what I know about her, is she's just a straight professional.
Yeah.
She shows up. I don't see any history of her backing out of anything. And so I obviously wish her the best, with the exception of when she faces me.
Yeah.
But
because when it's that time, it's game time.
Yeah. It's not personal, but I look forward to like getting through the fight. And then at that point, because I feel like she's someone that I would have a lot in common with. Like, we both like to lift weights, like both live in Texas. From what it seems, she seems to be like bought into it too. And she was understanding of the message of, that I got injured and that freaking sucked, but, at least she was receptive to it. But it does suck. Like I just remember sitting there thinking like, man, I was supposed to have fought in February. Had this girl not backed out because of relationship stuff, I would have fought.
Yeah.
And I would not have gone to wrestling practice the next day and torn my MCL. I would not have trained that session. So I just remember sitting there and I'm just like steaming over this. Like, I'm so angry.
Because now you're in your head too, you're thinking like, all this is happening because it's not playing out this way.
Yeah. And there's a brief moment where I'm just like, getting sassy with God. Like, God, like, I quit my job because I felt like you wanted me to do this, and now everything's falling apart. Like, what do you want from me? But his time. What do you want from me? What? Like, I'm just trying to like.
But that happens a lot too. Like, not that I want to make fun of people, but like when things are going great and everything's going your way, and you're like, oh, thank God, like.
God
is good and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like the moment that everything starts derailing.
I never knew you.
It's like,
who is that?
Is there even a God? And like, everything starts getting crazy. And I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. But
oh gosh, the amount of times I've sat and it's crazy. I usually have those moments where I'm in my car. And there was another one where I'm sitting there and I just remember it had something to do with fighting. It was when I first moved here and I was trying to find a new gym.
Oh, okay.
And things fell apart. And so we're sitting in my car and I'm like, cry screaming at God, like, and I'm hitting my steering wheel, so my air horn's like bomb bomb bomb. I'm like, why
you hate me?
What did I do to deserve this? What is going on? I'm just angry crying. But
now you're going down thinking back to like, what have I done wrong? And
you're just like,
you're trying to like pinpoint things. Like, did I take out their like the simple things?
Right?
And people really do that.
Yeah,
they really do it. It's hilarious to me. But like I said, I always see them do it, and I find it entertaining because I don't have that habit of doing that.
Yeah, it's me.
But I see so many people do it, and I'm just like, damn, like, it's when things are good, hey, God is he's amazing. He does no wrong.
Yep.
And then it's like, okay, what happened? Why am I not, I thought this was my path, my journey. And the attitude is different. Mm-hmm. But it's just it's caught up in the moments, the emotional stuff. But one thing I did want to tap in to is because one of the most difficult things that I think a fighter has to deal with is the weight cutting.
Yeah.
And I know I talk a lot about like, watching UFC fights and things of that sort. I watch the face-offs, the weigh-ins, and to see a lot of these, even the people in the UFC, Bellator, all these organizations, and you see like the fighters looking so like, terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for people who know Israel Adesanya, that was the worst I seen him look.
Mhm.
Like his physique, his, just in his face. If you just looked at his face, he looks so like if he was about to pass out
Depleted.
immediately. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that was just like what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And to see that happen, I'm like, man, like, you know what? Like there's that's not something the average person can go through. You know,
Absolutely not.
and that's why like when some people say, I hate when people say, man, it's just sports. Like,
Mhm.
like trying to make it smaller than what it is. I'm like, there's a reason why people are professional. Like they're professionals for a reason
Right.
because they're doing the things that the average cannot do. Like I hate when people say like, "Oh, bro, what's so special about them bouncing a basketball?"
Mhm.
The fact that you could never do anything they do in your lifetime,
Mhm.
it can never happen. Same thing with fighters. I'm like, y'all can't take a punch to the face like that,
Nope.
and especially somebody who knows and has been trained to hit a certain way.
Mhm.
Like it's not somebody you just pick a fight with in the street
Right.
where everything is just like, we're just throwing, swinging for the fences. And hopefully we land. Like these people fight and train to land
Yeah.
at a, high, accurate percentile, right? And so, but when I see the, like I said, the weight cuts, and like for you, we talked about your walk around weight is probably 170 at the highest and then maybe 165 normal.
Mhm.
And you usually cut like 30 pounds.
Mhm.
I couldn't imagine cutting 30
Yeah.
pounds.
And I've never missed weight. The only time that and I didn't necessarily miss weight, I just agreed to a catch weight, but in all of my professional boxing, jujitsu, MMA, like all of it, I've never missed weight, like ever. And it's because I signed that contract.
The discipline.
And and I'm sure that there are certain things that there might be very whatever, but I really do think that within a very small reason, it is in your control to make weight.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it really is. Like trust me, I go to bed hungry, I wake up hungry, I train hungry. I'm eating hungry. Like it's like
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Don't get me wrong, I'm hungry. But it's just like that's kind of where it starts, and it's like that's part of the deal. Like, I guess I could go up in weight if I wanted to, but then there's not really a featherweight division in the UFC, at least not yet. So it's like for me, I feel like the division that I'm in is definitely an advantageous, division for me to be in because I'm a big girl, a big bantamweight. I'd rather be a big bantamweight than a small featherweight. But it is something that like that's the first fight. That's the first opponent is the scale.
Yeah.
And like in my opinion, like the cutting weight and the scale process, that's the fight that you have with yourself, like internally. And the thing about food is like it's very much so a real addiction. It really is, like, and the thing about food that makes food addiction different than alcohol or drug or whatever other addictions is like, you can't abstain from it.
Yeah.
Like you can just never go to a bar and never drink, right? You could never hang out with people that do drugs or whatever, but you eventually will have to eat something. And so it's like
Yeah.
you're constantly in that, but
That's funny because I feel like seeing a person who's not drinking at a bar probably can't be trusted.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like everybody starts feeling like something's wrong.
Yeah, something's off, So it does make the food thing a little bit different, but I think with anything it's just like mental, right? Like our genuinely our bodies were not created to consume calories the way that we consume calories.
Supposedly, we're not even meant to be eating 3 times a day.
No.
Yeah.
We would eat like one giant meal maybe every couple days. Is kind of like how it used to be.
That's how you're supposed to maintain
Yeah.
and be fine.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's optimal, but like that's how people survive for the longest.
Yeah, but their bodies are adjusted to that. So to them, probably eating every 2 days is normal.
Mhm.
Like they're not feeling hunger because their body's like already trained
Right.
that way. But like for me, I'm like, yo, I start getting sad when I miss a meal,
Mhm.
and it is bad. I couldn't imagine like having to be disciplined to cut weight or if I got an illness and they're like, you can't eat the way you eat.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be devastated. Like you tell me I can't eat red meat no more.
Yeah.
I
Speaking of which, did you hear I'm all into conspiracies. Where they're like apparently like dropping boxes of ticks, like just spreading ticks in like open areas that'll cause like I don't know if it's Lyme disease or something, but basically, and I don't know if this is legit, if it's a conspiracy theory or whatever it is.
Don't tell me they infecting my food.
But no, so what it's supposed to do is if it bites you, it makes you resist it, like where your body can't process red meat anymore.
Whoa.
Yeah, and the reason being, there's this huge push to get people to stop eating red meat. What is Bill Gates, right? He's like all into like vegan, vegetarian stuff.
So Bill Gates, from what I've read, and mind you, I don't. All right, let's get in. Fuck it, we're here. Let's get into it. All right. So, like, you hear all these things, like, even with Bill Gates with like the pharmaceutical stuff when COVID was going on, and I'm like, wait, why is this guy? His name is like popping up for all this shit. Like, what does he have to do with anything besides being the bank?
Yeah, he's money.
He is the money. He's the one. He's the one funding. He owns probably these organizations that sell this, produce this, and I was like, in my mind, a rich person's mentality is to continue to get more rich, because your regular rich is no longer regular rich no more. You need to keep going up. It's like an addiction,
right?
And I feel like with Gates, I do feel like he's pushing that whole thing, because he has created or released the like fake meat.
Yeah.
Lab grown.
Yeah, lab grown meat.
Yeah, meat. And now they're like, people are trying to say, hey, watch what you're eating, because, there's a lot of people who are not going to be okay with that. And they're not necessarily making a public announcement. Like, you got to really read into it. And now people are trying to put like, this is the label that is labeled on meat that is not legitimate. It's not from a cow. It's literally lab grown. And you're eating like fake scientific
meat,
beef or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not okay with that. Especially like, if I'm not going to pay that price either. If you're going to sell it for more than my regular meat and I can't even tell what I'm eating.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not okay with that.
Right. And I think my understanding of it is, it's like once you've reached a certain level of income and like net worth, it's not about acquiring more money as it is power and control. And
power is an addiction.
That part. Yeah. And so I think a lot, and this just goes into, and we could really go down the rabbit hole on this, because it's like I have a lot to say, but I think that anymore it's not Republican versus Democrat, it's not left versus right, it's it's the elite wealthy versus everybody else.
The elitists,
right?
Yeah.
That's where because I genuinely believe that the president, Congress, they're puppets that are controlled by the elite. And I think that part of I'm not like, Trump has done things that have given people reason to absolutely hate him. But I think a large part of where the just excessive amount of hate comes from is because he is independently wealthy and he's not as easily controlled. So he's a threat to the super elite wealthy, right? And again, I'm not saying that he's a perfect man or that I'm a huge fan of him or anything like that. But I think that that's kind of where, if someone is exceedingly, think about it. It's Easter right now, right? Who also was hated by the people?
Shit, almost
Jesus.
everybody.
Jesus was hated, right?
But everybody,
Jesus was hated.
Everybody who has, I feel like, influence, power, money,
and that was the thing,
immediately hated.
Jesus had influence. Jesus had power. He was a threat.
The biggest influence.
He was a threat to the leaders of the synagogue, the leaders of And so, like the more and more, and COVID has, because I used to make fun of conspiracy theorists.
Yeah,
I used to live in this believe but now it's like I'm questioning 9/11. I'm questioning the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I'm questioning COVID.
I've questioned
for there to have had,
forever.
They had a vaccine created for COVID before COVID happened.
Yeah.
So it's like you just got to start opening up your eyes. And as much as it's like I hate to think that that's the way things are and that that's reality, I think there are a lot of things that it's like you look at Big Pharma and Pfizer, right? And I don't know how many decades. Do you know how many medications they've come up that's cured something, like cured a disease?
Probably a small
Zero.
percentage.
None. Because if you cure it, you lost a customer.
Well, obviously, I've always believed that the reason why you don't have cures for things is because you're
Can't
dealing with
profit. You cannot profit from
yeah,
people being healthy.
and you need the profit. Like
Mhm.
now, we'll find something that can stabilize you,
Mhm.
but you're gonna have to keep taking it
You have
and
to. It's
buying it.
yes,
And
yes.
so I've always believed that, and nobody can really tell me different,
Mhm.
and that's just how I feel because if that's the case, I'm like, there's so many things that we probably could have a cure for,
Oh,
and
for sure.
they probably exist, but we're not putting it
I
out.
was like, I believe there's a cure for cancer. I know there is.
Oh,
I know it's like there's got to be a cure for cancer.
for
It's just
sure.
you lose so much money, and it's like that's where it goes back to like the money is the root of all evil,
Oh yeah,
or the
yeah.
love of money is the root of all evil, right? And so it's like you go back to this Bill Gates thing. Well, why would he want you to stop eating red meat?
Because you
Well,
got to eat his meat. Oh, pause. That's crazy. Hold on. Sorry, that was wild.
I mean, I wasn't going to say that, but I'm just saying like it because it weakens your immune system. Like you can look and do studies, and I know I'm sure I'm going to get all a earful from vegetarians and vegans and stuff. They're not healthier than normal people. Like Oreo is vegan. Do you know how bad Oreos are? And they're
Oreos
delicious.
are, yeah,
They're
people love them.
fire, but
People love them, but that's not even real cream in
it's
there.
technically a vegan food, so it's like our bodies, we need protein. And I think that what's happening is all these things that are being pushed down our throats stay inside. Well, being outside there's so many
That's
like
actually good for
we were
you.
born to be outside,
Yeah.
don't like try to keep people off the streets or put more time on their phone. That's less time that they're exercising. That's less time that they're out doing things. It's like if you get people glued to their phones, glued to their TVs, and then you own the media, you control them.
Oh yeah, because when
You
you see
control
something, when
them.
you see something enough, it starts to really like instill in your mind.
It does. And
That
then that becomes your perception then becomes your reality, and they control what what you're seeing.
yeah, and that's why like like this little short term or short attention span type of visuals that we see
Mhm.
like every day. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, like there's moments I'm caught up, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm scrolling. Next thing I know, it's like 30 minutes, an hour. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I've been scrolling through whether it's like Instagram, TikTok, whatever.
Mhm.
And I'm like, damn, I didn't spend like an hour on this.
Mhm.
And I'm like, and I watched like a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I got
And
nothing
like,
out of
yeah, I
it.
got like 10 laughs, but those laughs were like 30 minutes ago. And then after that, I'm just watching food that like I could have just went and cooked some, or bought something, but
Right.
I'm watching. And now it but I don't want to be a hypocrite and
Mhm.
criticize it because I put out visuals myself. I
Mhm.
put out content myself. So it's kind of iffy, but I just think that there needs to be some form of balance. And I can't control what other people do, but I know for myself, there's got to be a balance. Sometimes I put my phone to the side. I'm just like, I need like
Mhm.
decompress. I need
Yeah.
like to, just relax my eyes and, because I felt like when I used to watch too much, whether I'm watching like Netflix or, just any TV, watching my phone, my sleep pattern was disrupted.
Yeah.
And now I catch myself waking up like at 4 in the morning on an off day for no reason.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I even up? Like, what
It's
can you even do at 4 a.m.? I mean,
your
minus,
circadian rhythm is off. And it's because
yeah,
like the blue lights and like it messes with our body's natural like sun up, sundown.
yeah. And it's like working at night.
Yeah,
You're disrupted now.
for sure.
I worked night for like 6 years. And I didn't realize, you don't realize the effect until like you stop doing it.
Hmm.
And then you're like, oh wait, I'm like a normal person now. Like, is this normal people time? Because like people used to say like, or like once I stop working nights, like, hey, you look good. I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, I don't know, you just look more like alive. And then I'm like
You're
thinking, I'm like, do I
daywalking
get
now.
offended or like are they trying to point something out? And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, I haven't been working nights for like a couple months.
Mhm.
And I'm all like, and one person actually went into detail and like, yo, you used to like, it looked like you had permanent bags under your eyes at all
Mhm.
times. You look exhausted. Sometimes you just look pale. I'm like, damn, I'm not really outside like that. You're at night. In the daytime, you sleep. You're not
Right.
getting no sun.
Mhm.
You're not outside doing activities. Sometimes, like when I need to go to the gym, I would go like at night because I'm on that type of time.
Mhm.
And it's like, damn, I barely see sunlight at
Yeah.
all. And
Yeah.
then, it's like, unless I'm picking up my kids from school and then I go back to sleep.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, I didn't realize the effect that, working night shifts was doing to me. And I don't think I can ever go back,
Yeah.
And now I'm like an old guy. So I'm like, I don't even like being out late that much sometimes. I'm cool like being at home, kind of like I was telling you earlier. I like having watch parties. I'm like, I like cooking and grilling and, being at home and like I'm okay with that. Now, do I like to step out? Of course, I'm a social person. But the way it used to be, it's like, nah, like a lot of these things I was doing, as you start adding them up,
Mhm.
they were just really contributing to my sleep patterns, like just being completely off the wall
Right.
and just not feeling like got 100% energy at
Yeah.
all. And then I started incorporating like vitamins, and not vitamins like how you be doing. I feel like I need to step up my vitamin
Yeah.
game. And
Well, everyone now like it's set up to where everybody probably needs vitamins.
yeah.
Even like, and I eat very, very, very clean, very healthy. Like especially when I'm in camp. When I'm not in camp, I still eat really, really clean, but I don't deprive myself if I want, ramen or whatever. Like I'll work that in. But our food even nowadays is like way less nutritious than it used to be. Like even like
Oh
grown
yeah.
grown stuff. Like there was this thing. So one kiwi now has like you would have to eat 7 of them to get the same vitamins and micronutrients that you would 50 years ago.
But you think about it, have you been out the country?
Like hill country or
No, like just like
out
Central
of the
America.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I've been to Canada and I've been to Mexico and I've been to Puerto Rico.
Okay, so
No, Costa Rica, my bad.
if you like Costa Rica, places like, I don't know, Colombia, El Salvador, Honduras. So like a lot of those places, they don't produce their vegetation
Mhm.
like how America does.
Mhm.
So, and I remember I was in, because my family's from El Salvador. So, we visit from time to time, and I'm over there and I'm like, man, like the supermarkets, like the way they're set up, you could tell like these just came off the vine,
Mhm.
like earlier today, maybe,
Mhm.
or last night, yesterday. And everything is like fresh. It looks so different. And their sizes are more like, like here, like I feel like you have one tomato one size and the other one's like everything's so off.
Yeah.
And
They're
so I'm
genetically
there,
modified.
and just like even the people. Like here, if you see old people, a lot of times you're already in a walker, in a wheelchair, and there's something wrong with you by the time you're 55. And it's like a whole bunch of craziness
Right.
over there. And then everybody dies before they're like 90. And I'm like, damn, like, and then so I'm over here in El Salvador. The reason I bring this up is because, even my family members, I got like family members who are like in their hundreds.
That's crazy.
But they live over there.
Mhm.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, she just passed away like a year and a half ago, but she she was already like in her 90s as well. And my grandfather was about to be 100 until he got an injury, head injury,
Uh-huh.
and he would have made it to over 100 too. And I'm like, damn, like just and their siblings are in their low 100s, like 105. Like I
Mhm.
think the oldest one is 105 years old, and they can still walk.
Yeah.
They're like walking around. They eat. My grandmother was still cooking. Both my
They're
grandmothers still cooking in
probably
their
also
80s.
not taking 10 to 15 prescription pills a day.
No, no. Well, some. Like, I mean, yeah. If you're old,
You're
maybe
not, I mean, you're, but
like pressure medicine, maybe.
yeah, but
Yeah.
there's like a lot of medications that are just given out. And if you look at like some of the side effects, the other day, gosh, like, and I originally wanted to be a doctor and I just realized like our healthcare system is just such like so upside down. It's so geared towards it's a business, not a healthcare. Like it's not,
Oh,
it's, and but there was, I kid you not, they're on TV and America is like one of the only places in the world that you are allowed to advertise drugs on commercials like that just in the household.
oh yeah, yeah.
Right? Like no one else, nowhere else does that. We're the only country that does that.
Well, we're
And
crazy.
yeah, well, because it's you make money in it. The ad space, they're
Business.
paying billions of dollars
Yeah.
for marketing. So, but yeah. So I saw this, and it was basically there was a depression medication, right? That was meant for people if you struggle with depression, and in its like fast list of side effects, may make you more or increase suicidal oh my gosh, I can't say it.
Ideations.
Yes, and I'm like, so you're trying to sell people who are depressed already a medication that's going to increase,
It might make them off themselves. That's crazy.
but people buy it. Like it was on a commercial. And I'm just like, this is like crazy.
Yeah, no,
Crazy.
and it's not
Go outside. Go spend time with your family. Quit watching freaking TV, you know?
You know what else is crazy? And going back to the example I was using about El Salvador,
Mm-hmm.
is me and my son, we were hiking a volcano. So we were like, I don't hike.
Mm-hmm.
That's I mean, I like doing outdoor activities, but hiking is not really in my thing. Like I'll
Okay.
do it, but like to be like, okay, my first real hike, or I did one hike in Colorado.
Okay.
We just outside, everything was outdoorsy out there, so
It's beautiful out there.
yeah, but it wasn't crazy. It wasn't a crazy hike. Now I'm looking at this volcano, and the only reason I'm determined to make it to the top is because I used to see videos over the years of this, how like some of the volcanoes have like steam water, like
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
And it's not called steam water, but it's called it'll come to me. But anyway, so it has like this big body of water
Mm-hmm.
at the top. And it's this color of my shirt, like mint green. And I have video footage I'll show you later. And so I'm like, when you see a video of it, you're like, is that really like, or they modify the video?
It, yeah.
Put a little edit on there, make it look cool so they can sell it to people and people just gravitate and have a reason to go over there. And then I'm like, okay, whenever I go back, I gotta go see it for myself. And so they said, all right, man, it's gonna be a hike. There's no like
a natural spring. Is that what you're talking
like
about?
a spring, like a hot spring. Hot spring. There you go.
Okay.
And so I'm like, they're like, if you want to see it though, there's no like car ride.
You have to
because there's
go up there.
some volcanoes there. Like people live on the volcanoes. Like you can drive up there. There's restaurants.
That's cool.
We went to we celebrated my birthday over there, and
in August.
In August, of course. And we were on a volcano, but like it's like there's like neighborhoods, like people living on the roads are built around it. We ate at a steakhouse, and you oversee like the whole city.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
But anyway, not to get sidetracked, we're on this volcano, we're hiking it, and my son's legs start giving out. And he's like in pain, and mind you, my feet are in pain too. And I'm like, I know we didn't come with the proper gear. We probably should have had like some boots and like some other like stuff that's obviously makes sense for this hike.
Right.
And this hike was a couple hours. And so anyway, I'm like, damn, he's not gonna be able to make it. So he had to stop, and we had other people with us, and they stopped. And I'm thinking he's being maybe a little dramatic, but I was like, you know what? He's never hiked either.
Yeah.
I've never hiked. I'm just trying to push through because I have a different level of determination because of what I want to see.
It's at the top.
And mind you, I'm carrying a bag. I got a drone in my backpack, everything. Because I'm like, if I get to capture this on video,
that'd be so worth it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, it was just like bucket list at this point. Make it to the top. And I look down, I'm like, it's real. Like, I'm looking at it, it's the real deal. You see the steam coming off. It literally looks like my shirt is laying on the floor, and that's a lake.
That's crazy.
And I'm looking around, there's a guy up there, and he's all like, I was like, can I fly a drone here? I was like, I know it's windy, but I was like, I'll risk it. I just don't know if you fly over a volcano, is there like some kind of gravity pull? Because I don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, some people fly it around here. He's like, I don't care. You could take it out. I fly my drone over that thing, and I'm catching all the footage. And then I like twist it because there's other volcanoes in the distance, and you can see when the clouds like kind of come over the top, and I'm catching all that footage on the drone.
Oh, that's
and I'm like,
cool.
This is one of the best moments of my life.
It's so worth it.
Yeah, it was so worth it. My feet are dead, but I'm still not thinking about it because I'm still on this high.
Yeah.
Of like I'm up here, and I actually like not to say I can't accomplish things. But I was like, I accomplished something that I never thought I would do.
Right.
And, it became a goal of mine. And then I was like, I have to do it. And fast forward, my son's injured. He's like messed up his legs or his feet, are like messed up. Not visually messed up, but like, I guess internally or something. And I'm like, how are we going to fix him if we're only a couple of days into this trip?
Right.
And we're here for like almost 2 weeks.
Yep.
And I'm like, we go to like the neighborhood doctor, and they tell him, hey, yeah, give him this. We're gonna put this, a little ointment. I'm like, man, I'm like, dude, I put ointment on in America, and I'm still out of commission for like days, maybe a week still. I'm like, we'll just do our best, whatever. This kid did a whole 180 in like 8 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Like with the little
it's like good stuff over there.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Maybe the medication is different.
Yeah.
We don't have like America type of medications where they're not trying to cure you and fix you overnight.
Yeah.
You got to take this for 7 days.
Yeah.
And what some of them say, take until you finish it all. And, antibiotics say finish all of it.
They're not, antibiotics don't work if you don't finish them.
Exactly. It's like, how does that make sense? How come, why don't we just put it all in one pill? But that's not how it works, right? they got to sell more of it. So anyway, he was like a complete 180. He went from not being able to walk to now he's walking just fine. I mean, yeah, minor aches and stuff and like the pain,
That's crazy.
But I was like, we need to take this home. Whatever this ointment is and everything else, load it up. Because I was like, if we go play basketball, do something, we get hurt, and we could just apply that and be good.
Good, yeah.
I was like, and that's just one of the examples of things that, like, even the food itself. I'm like, people here they eat so much natural food, farmlands, they produce like, really like produce non-chemical produced items. And I'm like, that's why they live longer.
That is, yeah.
They look healthier. I don't remember seeing people in wheelchairs, and there's a lot of old people and they're walking around having a good time.
Probably see way less obesity too.
Yeah, there's not really any. The only people who seem to be overweight are mothers who have like 10 kids.
Yeah. Well,
and even they're not like overweight. They you could just tell like I'm aging.
Yeah.
And I just had a lot of kids.
And hormones. I mean, like for especially women, like once they go through menopause, their hormones change, their body changes, and that I completely understand. But I think we celebrate obesity here.
Oh, here, yeah, it's a normal thing.
It is.
And mind you, I play around, be like, yo, I'm a fat boy, like in my mindset, because the way I eat is like, there's no structure to the way I eat.
Right.
Like I always laugh because I say like your cheat meal is my regular meal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day. And in reality, I'm talking shit.
Right.
But I was like, I could be eating at a steakhouse and try to eat like, good cut of meat. I'll have like salad and all the good stuff. And in the same day, maybe a few hours later, I'll still go to like, I don't know, Wendy's or like,
But with that in mind,
Popeyes.
doesn't it make it kind of hard to wrap your mind around? Like, what you eat and kind of like your body frame. Like, imagine what it would take to get to 350 pounds.
Like for me? Oh, yeah. I would have
to go. For anyone.
I'd have to go crazy.
For anyone. Because I eat a lot of food too. And I always have that like, imagine like what it would take, how much I would have to really eat. I was going to end up being 350 pounds.
Yeah, because by then your the level of consumption would have to be drastically increased.
And consistently.
Your regular meals would be like, now instead of eating this one solid plate of food, you might have to do 3 of those.
You probably start drinking you'd almost have to drink your calories. Like you really would. Because like I get being 20, 30 pounds overweight. But it's like at a certain point, like I feel like even my body, like once I start getting over 165, my body's kind of like, yo, like we don't like this.
Yeah.
This isn't,
This is not your body type.
Yeah, yeah.
And like for me, I think I start to feel like that when I go over 165 too. My comfortable weight walking around is 160. And I feel like good. I feel like, I'm a slim guy. But, like that's where I feel my best. I don't feel too heavy. Once I start passing, going 168, like I think right now I'm probably like 10 pounds over what I want to be. I'm at 170. And I notice like, even if I go upstairs, like there's like, it's like I'm carrying something.
Yeah. Like I get shin splints when I'm like, because if I were to go to start like trying to do a bunch of running and cardio and I'm over 165, like my shins hurt, my ankles hurt, my knees hurt.
Yeah. You feel it all.
You feel it.
And I'm like, I don't like that feeling at all. It doesn't make you feel good. You feel sluggish the more weight you're carrying. And I'm like, like I know I like to eat, but maybe better maintain myself, or let me fast a little bit for a few, instead of eating at this time when I would typically, eat some fatty meals, maybe just skip out on it.
Yep.
Have a banana, and substitute that instead of having a whole breakfast. But then again, I heard our bananas aren't even real.
Well, who knows? They
said America don't sell real bananas. Do you know that?
Real? I did not know that.
That's what I was reading the other day.
Well, geez, I ate bananas. They're so cheap. It's like, and they're prepackaged. So like when you travel, like
that price never changes. So that means that the process of creating them has probably never changed. Have you ever seen a shortage of bananas?
No.
You see?
No. Well, there was
shortage of oranges.
Yeah. I feel like there was this one time I went to HB, but I don't know if they just were in the process of restocking when the bananas was really, really low. But
that's probably whenever like people go crazy and they say,
because there's a storm coming in. Bananas were gone, milk was gone, eggs was gone.
Yeah, your toilet paper's gone, paper towels gone.
Quarter of a centimeter of snow.
Yeah,
I'll just put that out. I mean, Chicago people in Chicago. That's so one thing that Tech does that cracks me about Texas. Like in Chicago, it was negative 12 degrees. There's a sheet of black ice and then like 4 to 6 inches of snow and you have 6 lanes of traffic going one way and everybody's just getting after it.
Mm-hmm.
In Texas,
the roads are vacant.
33 degrees and a chance of dust. Nobody is anywhere. Places are getting shut down. Gyms are getting shut down. Highways are closed. Schools are closed.
Yeah.
And it's like, it cracks me up. It really does.
My cousins, they laugh at me all the time. The moment they hear about bad weather or our version of bad weather, they're like, hey, so y'all shutting down or like?
Yeah, we are shutting down. No, we're raiding HEB first.
Yeah, we're raiding the grocery stores.
And then we're shutting down.
And then, yeah, it's going down. We're locking ourselves in the house and we got the heaters ready because if the power goes out and this and that. And they always laugh. They're like, we saw that y'all were like hovering around the 25 degrees. We figure y'all are in a panic.
Yeah, no. But I get it. Like, I'm not throwing shade because I hate the cold. I really do. And I'm glad that like Texas gets it.
But it's funny though, because when it's in reverse, when they come down here, I remember I had my uncle's family had came out and I think we were pushing 80 degrees, 85 degrees that day. And, you know, I think they were at like 50 as a high. So they show up, they fly over. And so it went from like, you know, 35, 40 degrees as a low. And now their low is going to be 80 degrees when they get here in a matter of the 3 hours or 4 hours it takes to fly. And they're like, oh my God, how do y'all do this? And they're like panicking. It's so hot. They're like, they got to like change their outfit. I'm like, you see me walking around shirtless?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is great. I'm loving this.
Yep.
This is my type of weather. 85. And I'm like, no, this is hot. And they're like dripping in sweat. And I'm like, you see, because y'all used to that other temperature. Because over there in the summertime, you can still walk around with a sweatshirt.
You could. Yeah.
Now, I like their summers. Their summers are nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it is
the
beautiful.
summers is nice.
Summertime shy.
Yeah, I'm not going to go and play and say that that's not the case.
No,
but, you know.
It's great. For
it's
like the 2 weeks that they get nice weather, yeah.
Yeah, the
great.
pros and cons. Because y'all got like 7 months to 8 months of
dark,
like winter time.
Cold, rain, snowy, you know. I think it's just the trifecta. It gets dark at 4:30 in Chicago. You know, it's under 30 degrees for weeks on end. And then because it's right there by the lakes, precipitation.
Oh, that humidity.
So it's like you just get the trifecta of it is dark, it is cold, and it is wet, and it just sucks.
Yo, yeah, hell yeah. Oh, you know what? I know we got you here for like quite a while already. But before we forget, because I know that we was chatting about something a few days ago. And I thought it was hilarious because you had posted something about the DMs going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And I was all like, and I always find this hilarious because like I've seen screenshots of like different people's like, they'll send me something like, damn, this is how y'all be talking. And I'm like, who's y'all? I'm like, no, that's me. That's the small group of like the bad ones, the bad apples. But it's always like interesting to see like how far, like the lengths that some of these, you know, people will go, you know, as far as like what they're saying in DMs to people they absolutely don't know.
Yeah, just to get a reaction sometimes, I think.
I think they really want to shoot a shot and they don't know how to shoot a shot. They don't know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, I mean, we could probably just do a separate series where I just come with some receipts of like some screenshots of some things that I've been sent.
Yeah.
But it is like wild. Like, and it's getting more bold where people will just say like some obnoxious things like publicly on commenting on a photo that I post.
Yeah. The shock value level is all-time high.
It has I mean, just something like I've had people ask me to describe what my feet smell like after a training session. Like,
that is crazy.
Like, could you like what do your feet smell like after a really long training session? I'm like, I don't know, bad. Like, what do you mean? What do they smell like?
I bet you those are like sick fetish people. They're probably like, yo, I just want to smell the scent of that sweat after like a 2-hour workout.
Asking to buy my socks and stuff. I've had people ask to buy my socks. I've had people
trying to buy underwear.
Yeah, and or roll shorts. Yeah, roll around. I had someone $1,000 for a freaking pair of shorts that I fought in. Yeah, because they have blood on them.
But they
have
to be not washed.
Yeah.
There's a market for that.
There is a market for that. You know, there is. And I mean, to be honest, if I don't start fighting soon, I'm going to have to start doing it. Hey, I'm going to start selling some socks or something.
Might as well.
9.5.
Hey, you know, that'd be funny if they try to start sending you shoes too.
Oh, that would be.
Or it'd be like, wear these socks. I need you to wear these socks, sweat heavy.
Yep. I'll sit in a sauna. I'll sit in the, hey, look.
Hey, and
$5 a minute that I spend in the sauna.
That is crazy. You know what? But it's funny because there is a whole market for that type of like
Yeah.
fetish.
Well, and that's like what I get probably most predominantly. And it's funny, like ever since being in MMA, like you think most girls like it's gonna be like nudity stuff like that, but for me it's like I get a ton of like feet requests, and I don't know if it's just because of like the MMA space that I'm in. I train barefoot, like I kick people in the face. I don't know what it is.
It was really
Maybe I just got some pretty feet or something.
Yeah,
maybe I just got some
something.
pretty feet. To be fair, my feet are prettier than my hands. I will say that. Like I don't know why, but I have like long, like thin feet. Like I have nice feet, but my hands on the other hand, they're like. These are weapons.
Well, they punish people.
They do punish people. So
Yeah.
but I get a lot of that. And then the other thing is like people wanting me to like talk like down to them. Like I don't know how to explain what that like what I mean by that, but like basically just like smack talk them. Like
It's like a turn on point.
Yeah, something where it's like I'm just demeaning them, like putting them down. I'm just like, I don't know. I
forgot there's a term to describe that type of person.
I don't know. Yeah, but I get asked that a lot, and then I've had someone offer to pay me like $2,000 or $3,000 to grapple with them. Yeah, and it's kind of like tempting. It's kind of tempting, but then again, it's like also I don't want to really be touching this person because I know that it's like not that they're trying to learn from me or anything. They just want to be a creep for however long we grapple.
They want to be touched.
Yeah. I'll choke them out real quick. I need to have something like a disclosure in there where it's like, hey, if I submit you and you go unconscious, that still counts as your time. Like you're out.
Yeah, you could definitely make a quick $3,000 for that, babe. Money first.
Money first.
Yeah. You know what? Go ahead and wire me that money.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about it. We'll establish the location.
Mm-hmm.
I will have security.
Mm-hmm.
And then throw a couple $100. That's for the security.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure they get paid.
Because I would never do that. On top of the $3,000.
Whereas I would never. Yeah. If I were to ever do something like that, it would have to be at the gym where one of my coaches are present. Like I just.
Yeah, you can't be by yourself.
No,
definitely
absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, but I've had some crazy things going there. But the thing about the feet people though, they're generally the feet people. Yeah, they're like I don't know. They're generally like. They call me goddess or it's like they're almost like very respectful.
Queen.
Yeah, like it's like a very respectful.
Interaction.
It kind of is. It's still kind of funny to wrap my and it's a very common thing. Like I don't know what the studies are, and there's apparently because the part of your brain that I guess deals with like either stinky, smelly, dirty things. It's also close to a part of your brain that like gets sexual gratification. So that's why like foot fetishes are so common because sometimes like those wires get crossed
over.
Yeah, it's like apparently real common. Yeah, very, very common.
That is crazy. You know what? You might have to dabble into that.
You can find me on Feet Finder.
Yeah. It's funny. There's an ongoing joke here on this podcast actually where we were talking about like, if we were to start an OnlyFans as guys, like not like me and the other guys, but like, like self, like, OnlyFans, but what would you do? I'm like, I got nice feet too.
Yeah, nice feet.
And I was like,
women like feet too, I'm sure.
I was like, somebody gonna pay for that, you know? And they're like, but how would you make it entertaining? I was like, well, that's where you got to get creative.
You do.
I was like, you got to incorporate like, oils and honey and all kinds of stuff. And I'm all like
squishing.
You got to get like
somebody
in the
asked
cinematics.
Me, oh, speaking of weird requests. So there was this one specific request and they sent me like videos to show me what they were wanting to.
Oh, Lord.
So basically, like imagine that this table like is glass. And so you could set my camera underneath and then they wanted, and it was like an oddly specific type of bugs too. Let bugs on the table and then video from underneath me stepping on the bugs. But I had to do two different types of stepping on the bugs. No, I didn't do it, obviously, but like this was the scenario that they were asking.
You sounded like you entertained the idea.
I know. So I entertained it enough because I was curious. I wanted to like understand and kind of just get a feel for like, is this something that I'd be willing to do? But I'm like, I ain't stepping on bugs. I'm sorry. Like, maybe if it was enough money to like where I could pay off my house and never have to work again. But like, I don't want to step on bugs. Like, ew.
What if it's like 10K?
No, probably not that much. It'd have to be more, probably more.
Like 20K?
Probably like 100K and I'll step on some bugs.
20K though, just to step on them?
I don't know.
That might be a deal.
Yeah.
I'll film it. Hey, we'll film it. We'll set up the camera.
But yeah, like it was just, and then he or she had gotten people to do it before. Because I have a video of some girl stepping on bugs. I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's like
Yeah.
there's a whole thing, you know?
There's a market for
Yeah,
everything
and
and
I think it
anything.
was like like somewhere around $500 or something. But I just was like respectfully, like, I really don't mess with bugs like that. No thanks. Like,
Would
you
you
know,
ever
I grew up running around barefoot. I'm sure I stepped on some bugs when I was running around the house when I was little, but
would you ever eat like some fried crickets?
no. I mean, I did eat this. Oh, and it was awful. I guess it's from either Japan. I think it's from Japan.
Mhm.
They have these like, you know, those little teeny tiny crabs.
Yeah, yeah.
So they like candied it. So basically, I don't know like how they air fried it and then glazed it with some kind of like sucker syrupy something.
Oh yeah, like
And this
something just make
girl
it sweet.
and this girl and I was like, you know what? I'll try it. Oh, it was the worst.
Horrific?
Like, 'cause it was horrific. Yeah, absolutely horrific. So I will not be eating any of those suckers with scorpions in it, or like it was just like imagine a sucker where on the inside you bite into like a salty, fishy, like
Oh yeah, no.
oh, that was awful. I'm
No, that
not
can't be done.
even like starving to death, like I'm on my deathbed because I am malnourished. I'm not eating that. I'm just not.
And that's
like,
the only option.
I'm gonna have to die. Like I'm just gonna die.
Hey, I will say shout out to our friend Eddie True North because he did introduce me to a place, and they do serve fried crickets, fried red worms together in a bowl, topped off with I don't know if the scorpion is fried, but I'm gonna just say it is, and we ate it.
Yeah, I mean, I will try most things
I will
once.
say I did feel different after that.
Yeah,
Like I'm better.
you could survive. You could survive.
Like, nah, like you know how when you just eat something, you just like you know other people won't do it, and you're like,
That's why I did the crab because I was everybody else at the gym was like, I ain't doing that. I'm like,
yeah,
I was like, all right, you a bunch of little babies, I'll eat it. You know,
yeah.
it was awful. It was
But it's
terrible.
like I felt like there's that feeling because we also had like some other dishes, like some octopus and other things. I was like,
Mhm.
and then I see other tables and they're just eating like the basic
Yeah,
things on the menu. Like it's a Mexican restaurant, and I'm just like, I'm better than you.
I'm gonna
Like,
do it.
I'm gonna just do it because I'm better.
I ain't scared.
And yeah, we ain't holding back. But you know what? Let the people know because you know we could be here for hours. I feel like, but let the people know your fight date when it's coming up. You know who you're fighting.
So I'm fighting Shauna Gomez, doing it with Fury Fighting. It's going to be out in Houston,
H-Town?
May 17th. So I know main card starts at 4:30. Prelims usually like around 1:30.
Yeah.
So it can be a trip, guys. You just get up, you drive down. You'll be able to drive back if you don't want to stay the night, but it'll definitely be worth it. And once I finish her, then we're gonna call out somebody for a title shot. So
Hey, is there a preferred time of finishing this fight?
I'd like to do it in the second round. You know, get a little bit of, a
Fill
little
it out
something in that first round. Just I like to pick people apart a little bit. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think a second round finish is what we need. That way
Hey.
there's enough fight to where people can get their money worth.
Oh,
Then
for
we
sure.
still get that finish, you know.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to see either a choke out, a KO, something.
Something.
I'll take a TKO.
Man,
You know,
we'll
well,
take it.
Hey, I just want to see a finish. You know, like I said, you know, we're rooting for you. You know, me and my guys from the pod. You know, we're Team Livv on this side, and amongst our other friends and supporters too, who've been like tapping into your fights, and that's why we, it makes it more joyful for me to like share your experiences and videos of you like doing your thing and winning and things like that. It's like, yo, that can be you.
That's true.
You know,
and you've made some pretty bomb highlights from my fights. So
oh man, I appreciate it.
I'll have to go and share them out a little bit. But yeah, some quality stuff that makes me look. You make me look as legit as I am, but you made me look that way. Because if it was up to me, I'm like a monkey on a keyboard. Like, oh, this looks good, and it doesn't really look good.
No, and you know what? And it's just like I appreciate that you say that because it's really just me just trying to capture what my vision is, and you technically have to do the rest. You have to be the product.
That's true.
And all I can do is just like trying to make it as cinematic as possible. And I throw the little music in there,
it works,
the drama music and
the transition. Like you tell the story well through the videos.
Yeah. And I love it because, not everybody gets a chance to see somebody's journey like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, I might as well take this opportunity because you never know what's going to happen.
It's true.
She can one day be here and then she's going to be up here.
Yeah.
And
And you're documenting it. We got a little documentary
hey,
kind of behind the scenes
got a little
thing.
action
We'll
happening.
put a little pre emphasis out there.
Yeah, and
My mom was, I was told, because I told my mom I was on the way over here, and she's like, "Oh, is that who like did that interview with me and your dad?" I'm like, "Yeah."
yeah. And shout out to your parents though. They're like the coolest people. They're sweet. Your dad is
down
funny,
to earth, goofy. My dad's a cornball.
Yeah, and we love that. Traditional dad jokes,
Midwest dad through and through.
Yeah, and then your mom, some of the stories that she shared, and you can just tell, like, the people who really stand behind you or beside you, and just really support what you got going on, and you got to have that foundation.
You do,
and you definitely have that. You can see that they love what you do, and at the same time, still nervous and fearful, even though you've been doing it for a minute now, and they still feel like that. But it's like that's natural.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that you had people like that in your corner because you need that.
For sure.
That I think that only enhances the motivation, to really beat down whoever you're gonna fight next.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be sitting here, we're gonna be rooting. I plan to be in H-Town for it.
All right.
So, I get to see it
Let's
live.
run it.
Hopefully, God willing, I'll be able to
run
make it out there and see it. And hopefully, like you said, this girl doesn't have a history of backing out. I hope that she comes all in and you guys have like,
a banger.
A banger for sure. Cause that's one thing too. If the opponent can give you a little bit of work, people are gonna remember that. They'll be like,
For sure.
And they're gonna see what you overcame.
Overcame.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm here for it.
Hey, May 17th is going down in Houston. Fury fighting. Yeah, it's going down. If y'all are able to, I will definitely share the links. If y'all want to get tickets, like she said, it's only a short drive away. Get out there, maybe spend a weekend out there.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And have a good time, eat some good food. And you know what? I'd introduce you to some barbecue places out there
Let's
too.
do it.
They're
Let's
amazing.
run it up.
Yo, shout out to Houston, all my people out there. We'll be out there in a few months. And shoot.
Next month.
Oh, next month. Oh
Next
my God.
month.
Yeah, we'll be there real soon then.
Real soon.
Houston's becoming definitely second home. So yo, thank you so much for joining us, or joining me, I should say. And it's always a pleasure to watch your fights, talk to you. I know you got the busy schedule, it's hectic all the time. But hey, I take what I can get and definitely appreciate it. And you're gonna make it to UFC.
I know. Well,
It's going
Lord
down.
willing.
Oh yeah. But you're determined. We're gonna speak into existence now.
I believe it.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Hey, this is Livv Bierley, the future champ, and the UFC is going down. I'm saying it here now. It's gonna happen. Thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank you.